Hi there, Hybrid Trader here. This video is specifically but not exclusively for my South African friends. Being a South African, as you know, times are pretty tough in this country and worldwide for that matter. And they're only getting worse. People are barely scraping by these days, and those that are making money are making a lot of money. And the divide is getting bigger and bigger between the two. I decided that I was going to take matters into my own hands and dive into cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin at this stage. I've been busy with this now for a little while. I wouldn't say that I've traded in cryptocurrencies, but I have had something to do with cryptocurrencies for quite a while already. I've only just now decided to start trading Bitcoin specifically and cryptocurrencies. I've been busy doing this now for just over a month, and I think I've struck gold. I think I've found something that is cheap to do and can make you a fair amount of money. Now, anybody who has a bank account that actually pays them interest, and I only know of one bank who will pay you interest on a positive savings account balance anyway. And that interest is only around 5% per year, per annum. So if you've got 100 Rand in the bank for a whole year, they're going to pay you 5 Rand at the end of the year to keep that money in there. The only problem is there are bank charges, administration fees. So you are actually going to be at a loss for the year. So what I've found is a system that beats all the costs involved, beats any bank's or investment interest rate by a long way. And I've literally been in my trades that I've done over the past month, I've literally got that same 5% in 30 minutes paid into my bank account the same day. So this video is to tell you a little bit about my system, and I will be making a few more videos to teach you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But basically what I am doing in a nutshell, and I advise you now, from what I tell you now, you will be able to go out and actually do this, but be warned, there are pitfalls, certain ways you do things that will save you money and potentially save you from losing money at the end of the day. So I'm just going to run through it quickly and explain to you basically what I'm doing. I made a discovery, or I always thought that all these electronic exchanges were all linked in some way, and that the price for a specific altcoin or cryptocurrencies, let's say Bitcoin, I always thought that the price would be the same on all of them. And I only recently found, maybe I was naive, I don't know, but I only recently found out that it's not like that. They're not linked to each other at all. Their prices can differ one from the other, and they can differ quite a lot. And this rang a bell in my mind, and I thought, well, if this is the case, there must be cheap exchanges and there must be expensive exchanges. So I set out to find out which of these exchanges were the expensive ones and which the cheap ones. I had an idea if I just bought cheap on one exchange and I transferred it to another exchange where it was more expensive and I sold it there, I could just make instant money. It's called arbitrage. It's not done only with cryptos, it's done with a lot of commodities, a lot of physical goods. So I set about joining or finding and joining all of these exchanges, and then I hit a problem. Just about none of them will accept the South African bank cards, debit cards, credit cards, etc. But of the 30 or so that I did join, I found 3 or 4 that do accept our cards, and 2 of them specifically that I've been using exclusively now that accept our cards, and one of them just happens to be a South African based exchange, and it also very conveniently for my cause or what I'm doing, very conveniently is the most expensive exchange that I have found online by quite a way most of the time. So immediately I had an exchange by finding the expensive one. Most of you, if you know anything or have heard anything about cryptocurrency in South Africa, probably know about Luno is the exchange's name. They are literally the most expensive exchange 90% of the time online. If you convert the quoted South African price for Bitcoin, I'm talking Bitcoin now. If you convert the South African quoted price in rands and convert it to dollars and compare it to any of the exchanges that you find online, you will find that Luno, 90% of the time at least, is way more expensive. I have only for a very short period found the other exchange that I use, which is the cheapest one I use. I've only found them more expensive than Luno once, and that was only for 1 or 2 days. And but that was when Bitcoin had hit quite a low, and the market was pretty stagnant, volume was low, and everything had time to balance out. But normally when things are happening fast, Luno is far more expensive. The other exchange that I found was cex.io. They accept our cards the same, and after joining them and registering my bank card with them and going through the verification process, and then I did a study of the cost involved in buying, or firstly funding my account in CEX, buying the Bitcoin, cost of transferring it to Luno, and then from Luno's side, the cost of receiving it, the cost of me selling it, and the cost of me actually transferring the money back into my bank account. At the time, Bitcoin was just when Bitcoin was starting to make its move, the last move it made. And I found that there was, at times, up to a 35,000 Rand difference in price between Luno and CEX. Immediately I knew, because I'd already studied the costs involved in the whole process, I knew that I could make money here. So being a skeptic, although the maths worked out fine, I did a small transaction first of 1,000 Rand, deposited the money into CEX. That was painless. It took a few minutes and it was done. I bought the Bitcoin, transferred it to Luno. Receiving the Bitcoin in Luno is the longest part of the whole process. Luno waits for 3 confirmations from the blockchain before the Bitcoin is made available to you. Depending on how busy the blockchain is, depends on how long that will take. It took about probably 10 minutes or so, and the Bitcoin appeared in my Luno wallet, and I sold it immediately and made 50 bucks. After all costs and everything else were fathomed into it, I had made somewhere around close to 6%, I think it was. I knew immediately the bigger my transaction, because some of the fees are fixed in the process. So the bigger you make the transaction, if the fees are fixed, the higher your percentage rate. So I immediately, the same day, I did a transaction. The maximum my bank would allow for an online transaction. I financed my account. I bought the Bitcoin, did the same, went through the same process, sold the Bitcoin, and made an immediate 3,000 Rand, which was also 6%. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep doing that day because I had hit my daily limit on my bank account. But in the process, I have now discovered a way of making really good money. I mean, who makes, the whole process took no more than 30 minutes. Who makes 3,000 Rand? I know there are people who can and who do, but not many make 3,000 Rand clear profit in 30 minutes. It works out to 3,000 Rand an hour, or so rather 6,000 Rand an hour. I don't know many people that earn that kind of money. There might be, or I'm sure there are, but I don't know anybody personally. So if I can keep doing that and find a way of making many transactions like that, or bigger transactions like that per day, I can literally, I have a license to print money. What I'm going to be doing with these videos is I'm going to outline the process. Well, I have already, but as I said, there are pitfalls, and I found cheaper and safer ways of doing things, even when it comes to the banks. Not all the banks are equal. There's one bank specifically that I'm thinking of that is far better for this than any others. They are the cheapest. You might know what I'm talking about, but I will cover all of this in a video series that I'm going to be putting out. I'm going to explain the whole process front to back, and you'll be able to make money. At the moment, Bitcoin is the price has dropped quite considerably. The market is a little bit quiet at the moment after the new year and everything else, but it has started picking up, and I'm sure the more it picks up, the more the gap or the spread is going to open up, and we will be able to do these trades again shortly. At the moment, there is a difference, there is a spread, but it's not quite enough. And the market is a little bit volatile at the moment. If you just happen to catch it on a downward trade in Luno, excuse me, in the 30 minutes that you might have to wait for your Bitcoin to appear in Luno, the price might drop, and there goes your profits. Especially at the moment with a small gap between the two, or the small spread. Any change in the Luno price after you've bought your Bitcoin is going to affect your profits greatly. So at the moment, I wouldn't advise doing the strategy. I've put it on hold. In fact, I am at the moment now swing trading the Bitcoin Ethereum pair. I'm buying and selling Ethereum with Bitcoin. If you'd like to learn this process, I can teach you that as well. I have a very good friend who over the last year or 18 months has been trading in this pair or online cryptocurrencies, and has developed a system that he uses that is very effective. He claims a success rate over 80%. He has hired a coder, and together they have sat down and they have worked out a software that monitors the Bitcoin price on one of the exchanges. Not only the price, it monitors a lot of the indicators on the graph, and it determines when to buy, when to sell. And this system of his just generates the buy and sell signals. I was lucky enough to be given the signals free of charge as a tester of his system. I'm currently in the middle of a trade. Maybe I can bring it up here quickly. I bought, let me just find it. This is my account on livecoin.net. Like I said, I have accounts with a lot of exchanges, but this is my Livecoin account. My computer is super slow at the moment. Let's just give it a chance to catch up here. I bought, when this picture comes up, the Ethereum at 0.0622. As you can see now, we are at 0.06507. So we are up quite a bit, and there's no sign of a sell signal yet. So I don't know where this is going to go, but so far it's looking good. By the time I sell my Ethereum, I will have increased my Bitcoin by probably 10-11%. This is not quite as fast as arbitrage trading. I bought into this trade last night late, and it is now going on for 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've had this trade going on probably 18 hours already. So it's not quite as lucrative as arbitrage trading, but if you can do this with large enough amounts of Bitcoin, you buy large enough amounts of Ethereum, you can do very well with it. My friend who owns the software is obviously trading in bigger numbers. He's making half a Bitcoin a day on average. So you can do your own maths there. So if you want to follow me, if you want to see how I do this properly, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it with your friends, especially my South African friends. This is, being a South African, I want to help fellow South Africans. I want to help you to make some money. This is probably around the easiest way. You don't have to know anything about trading to do the arbitrage method anyway. You don't have to know anything about trading. You don't have to know how to read the charts or anything. All you need to do is be able to do a subtraction sum and work out a percentage from that. Literally, that is it. take two numbers, subtract them from each other, and work out a percentage difference. That is it. I will even show you how to do that. All you need is a simple $5 calculator to do it, and you're done. I have a Excel spreadsheet that I've got all my the costs involved all punched into there. All I have to do is plug into it the Bitcoin price, the exchange rate, and the spreadsheet does everything for me. I might even share this spreadsheet with you. But yes, if you'd like to learn this method, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and also click on the little bell after you've subscribed, and that way every time I upload a new video you will get a notification. Let's make some money, guys. Cheers.